Man, 21, is arrested on suspicion of murder after father of two, 37, was punched on his doorstep. A man has been arrested on suspicion of murder after a father of two was punched on his doorstep following a road rage row. The 21-year-old suspect was taken into custody by Nottinghamshire police on Wednesday morning. Stephen Walsh, 37, was involved in a car accident on Sunday night after his Lexus is understood to have collided with another vehicle. Police believe he didn't stop at the scene and was followed back to his home in Mapperley, Nottinghamshire, by a furious driver. The father of two, described as a fantastic bloke, then answered the door and was punched in the face. He died from head injuries hours later. Now it has emerged the construction boss had only moved to the area to live with his partner and two children just weeks before. A family friend paying tribute to Mr. Walsh said he was a decent bloke who worked hard to move into the upmarket detached home in a popular area of Nottinghamshire. The man in his 30s who did not want to be named said, "Stephen was a fantastic bloke, a fantastic father. It is just devastating. It is just something that no one deserves. He had moved just to better themselves. He had worked hard and got himself a nicer place. He was successful. He had his own construction company with lads working for him. He was punched on his doorstep and he died later in his sleep," added the stepfather. "Whoever has done this has to hand themselves in. How could he live with that guilt?" Police announced today they launched a murder inquiry and a hunt to find the driving after the alarming attack. Nottinghamshire police said the suspect had not yet reported the collision or come forward and said, "We will find you." Mr. Walsh's new house, less than 2 miles away, is located on a quiet residential street around 300 yards from Newstead Avenue, where the alleged collision took place. Nobody who lived locally appeared to be aware of the incident until Monday morning when they saw police cars and an ambulance parked outside Mr. Walsh's home. One neighbor said, "My dog responds to the slightest noise and he heard nothing. This road is quite tight with cars parked on either side and the need for drivers to give way. But it is not a busy place by any stretch of the imagination. It's unbelievable that such a thing should happen so close." Detective Chief Inspector Hayley Williams said it appeared the assault was a spontaneous incident following the crash on the leafy residential street. She said, "I want to appeal directly to the driver. A man has died and his children and family deserve to know what happened. This will not go away. I appreciate you may be scared. I don't think you planned this and I want to hear your side of the story. I have officers waiting to speak to you now and it would be much better if you come forward, because if you don't, we will find you. I believe you have disclosed the crash, and possibly the assault to others, possibly your girlfriend and mother. Please don't create difficulties for them by expecting them to cover up for you. I promise my officers will treat you fairly. By all means contact the solicitor and make arrangements to come in and talk to us." Neighbors said he had only just moved into the newly built detached property 2 weeks ago with his partner and 2 children. One man, who did not want to be named, said, "He's not long been here. He only moved in a couple of weeks ago with his partner and 2 lovely-looking children. I shook his hand and welcomed him to the area and he seemed like a really nice bloke. It's so tragic that this has happened and really shocking for this to happen around here. Most people are working professionals and we never get any trouble here. The first I knew about it was when the police came knocking asking if I'd seen anything. Your heart goes out to the lady and their 2 kids. They have moved here for a new start and it ends like this." Another neighbor, who also wished to remain anonymous, added, "They seemed like a nice, normal family and very happy about their new home. He certainly didn't look the sort to get mixed up in anything nasty. I can only think he has panicked and driven off, but you just don't know. The crash only happened around the corner, so he couldn't have been trying to outrun the other guy because it occurred so close to where he lived. He's probably come round to give him a piece of his mind and taken it too far, which has ultimately ended in these tragic events." The Chief Insp Williams, of East Midlands Special Operations Unit, also appealed for witnesses to come forward. She added, What we believe so far is that the person we are looking for is a white man in his 20s who was possibly driving a gold-colored estate car or a car-derived van. That vehicle will have some front offside damage. I want to appeal to witnesses who know a friend, neighbor, colleague with such a vehicle to let us know, especially if it has accident damage or if they haven't seen it since Sunday night. If you are a garage who has been asked to do a repair on such a vehicle in the last 48 hours, please let us know. My officers are standing by waiting to speak to anyone with any information about Stephen's death. Anyone with information is asked to call police on 101, quoting incident number 100 of July 30, 2018, or Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111.